Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just wanted to hop on real quick to talk about my next subject today, and it's about hunger, specifically in men. Uh, I think a lot of us in life, we get content, we get settled, and I think sometimes it is not men really don't require a lot. The joke about a single man oftentimes is that you give him a TV, a lazy boy, and some milk crates to sit that TV on. He's fine. He may not even be a lazy boy. It may be a folding chair. Uh, we just don't really require a lot, and most of us really have stuff or do stuff because of women. Because of trying to appeal to the fairer sex, as they are called. But being that in mind, if a goal of yours is to have a companion or romantic partner, somebody by your side, a good caliber quality woman by your side, there is a level of hunger you got to have in you. Hungry like the wolves, as I'm aging myself. Well, it was out before I was born, I think, but to be aware of it is aging myself. But it's a song called Hunger Like the Wolves, and you kind of got to have that hunger about you to sustain, to continue to elevate, to grow. Putting this in a relationship context, I think that's why a lot of relationships end up stale. And men oftentimes get the short end of the stick on that, of that stale relationship. And it gets stale when you get content, when you don't feel like you have to keep working or progressing or elevating, whether personally, romantically, professionally, whatever the case may be. You get stale. Being a man, you kind of know there's certain things that just come with being a man, and no matter what society or culture is trying to tell us in this year 2024, at time of recording, we're still looked upon as protectors and providers. I know women work too. I'm not saying there aren't contributions that your woman should make, and whatever those contributions are, I'm not saying you just take in a woman and lay all her worries over to the side. I don't believe that. I believe that she's truly a helpmate. She's there to help you. But at any rate, to not be constantly burned or scorned by women, or end up in a resentful attitude towards women because woman after woman keep leaving you, don't get stale. Keep that hunger about you. Whatever station you find yourself in life, you always have to keep a hunger about you to make sure I provide at least the necessary resources to maintain. Not just to survive, but to maintain. Some people are going to be more ambitious than others. That just, we're wired differently. But what shouldn't be different is your desire to do the best that you can do, have the best that you can have, and be the best that you can be. There should be no stagnation in that. There should be constant development and improvement in yourself. And that should be just for you, not even because of a woman, but a lot of times it is spurred on by a woman. I got this fine lady that I'm surprised she looked my way. She gave me the time of day, but she did. She loved me. She loved my nasty draws. I gotta do. And then you start to bring children into the mix. You gotta have that hunger about you. Especially when kids get brought to the mix, because it ain't about you no more. Your life ain't about you no more. Your life is about those kids and raising those kids and giving your kid the best opportunity. I will hope that's a goal of parenting from a man's perspective, to start your kids off further along to where you were. But and ain't nothing wrong with having hobbies. Ain't nothing wrong with being in the video games. Ain't nothing wrong with being in the sports. Ain't nothing wrong with, hanging out with your buddies from time to time and stuff like that. But that shouldn't be in the way of what your primary objective should be. your MO. That shouldn't be in the way of that. No amount of video games should be in the way of your primary objective. No amount of hanging out with your buddies should be in the way of your primary objective. No hobby should be in the way of your primary objective. And that is to provide and protect. I don't care what society tells you today. There is no 50-50. Because if it's 50-50, they won't look to you to provide. They won't look to you to protect. So it'll never be 50-50. They won't look to you to take lead. It'll never be 50-50. Now, however that looks for you in your relationship, but just know I lead, and you might as well wrap your mind around it's on me. Now, everybody ain't cut out for that responsibility, and that's fine. But recognize that about yourself before going out and ruining different lives, before going out and ruining the life of an innocent woman or ruining the lives of your children because your mind not right. But you got to keep that hunger about you to make this thing successful, to keep this thing fruitful. You got to keep that hunger. Not get content, not get complacent. See how far your tentacles can stretch. Career-wise, socially, financially, spiritually, mentally. Lay down the foundation somewhere and build. That's what we do. But you got to have that hunger about you to do it. It ain't enough just to be an idea. I know a lot of idea guys. They have a lot of ideas, but they have zero work ethic. They put zero work behind those ideas. They just have ideas. And then when somebody else, when the idea stork drops down on somebody else's front porch and they run with it. Oh man, I thought of that. Oh, I should have did it. I should have. You want to limit how many shouldas you have in your life. You're going to have some shouldas, but you want to limit how many shouldas and convert those to I did. And sometimes you do and it fails. And that's life. Nobody bats 1,000. But you want to limit how many I shouldas and make those into I dids. So don't be just an idea guy. Put some work behind that idea. Put something behind that idea. Continue to grow. Continue to be the best version of yourself you can be. Oftentimes, when your pursuit is to be the best version of yourself you can be, you eliminate a lot of the strife that comes in life. And when you commit yourself to being the best boyfriend, the best husband I can be, you eliminate a lot of the drama that goes on in relationships. When you commit yourself to be the best father I can be, you eliminate a lot of the emotional and traumatic scars that children later have to go to therapy for, or the abandonment issues that so many kids have from their father. When you commit yourself to be the best worker I can be, you find yourself progressing along in your career, and some stuff do just fall in your lap because people think so highly of you. When you just simply commit to be the best person you can be, you find yourself looking around and having a lot of best in your life. There's a sermon I heard that's, said what's in you eventually comes out. So be the best. So being the best, have that implanted in you, and eventually the best comes out. When you're being squeezed, or when pressure mounts and it squeezes you up, just like a tube of toothpaste. When you squeeze a tube of toothpaste come out. So when life squeezes you like a tube of toothpaste, let the best of you come out. But you got to already have the best in you. The best intentions, the best mindset, the best, thoughts, the best, whatever. And having that hunger creates that desire to be the best, to have the best, to everything around me is the best. And the best is subjective. I get it. Your best may not be my best necessarily, but the best for you, the best as you see it, the best relationship, the best relationship with your kids, the best friendship circle, the best, career or entrepreneur endeavors that you can attain. But you gotta have the hunger, man. Gotta have the hunger like the wolves. You gotta be ferocious with it. If you're gonna draw a line in the sand about anything, it should be, hey, this is what I expect of myself. I think what kept me out of a lot of terrible relationships is that the women I dealt with before I got married, of course, the women I dealt with knew what standard I held myself up to. And they would eliminate themselves, honestly, because they knew if they could hang or not. Because of how I carried myself. It wasn't me getting on their level. They knew they had to get on my level because of how I carried myself. What type of ambitious goals and drive I exhibited from just a few encounters. You know what type of guy. They knew what type of guy they were getting into, and they knew what that required of them. But too often, men are assimilating to meet the woman's standards because they don't have any standard of their own. And they're trying to find themselves navigating from woman to woman to meet whatever their standards are. And something that me and my brother talk about, they lose leverage. Because you're so busy trying to appease her sensibilities. And whatever, it's going to be some appeasement both ways. But when she has more standards than you do, when she has a higher mark of standard than you do, you'll always be lost. You're already out of order because they're supposed to look to you for leadership, look for you for protection, look for you for provision. So you're already out of order trying to meet her standards. It's already a problem if her standards are higher than yours. When we're the ones who tasked with asking them to be our wife. But you're trying to qualify to even put yourself in position to ask her to be your wife. And it's supposed to be the other way around. That's what happens when you lack hunger. And hunger ain't something you have to talk about. Hunger is just something you just do because you're hungry. You don't think about eating, you just eat. You may think about what you want to eat, but you're not thinking about, oh, if I'm going to eat today. That's just something you do. It's a foregone conclusion. I'm going to eat today. And we have to have that foregone conclusion in our lives. I'm hungry. I'm going to do. I stay hungry. So I'm going to do. That's when you have purpose. And you don't let anything get in the way of your purpose. And in that wrapped up in that purpose contains what type of relationship you have, what type of father you are. That's a part of your purpose. But if you're not hungry, you never have a purpose. You're just kind of floating in the wind, all accidental like Forrest Gump say. Again, aging myself again. I actually saw that one. That's in my lifetime. But again, aging myself. Be hungry like the wolves.